brought this to her bedside, that it's because of me. And I just say, I'm so sorry, Mommy. I'm so sorry.
Your heart breaks for her. Savannah Guthrie speaking out on the Today Show with co-anchor Hoda. And it's her first interview since her mom went missing. And you can just listen to her voice and look at her. And she fears that her mother may have been targeted because of her fame.
Yeah.
Emotional interview. It was really hard to watch at times.
Jack Jupin is a retired FBI supervisory special agent. Tom Kesterling is a psychotherapist. And good morning to you both. Such a painful thought to have to live with. Your reaction to seeing Savannah's heartbreaking realization and admission that she thinks she may have brought this on her mom. Jack, let's start with you.
You know, you're right. This is heart-wrenching. It's very hard to watch, actually, as you had just mentioned. Your heart just goes out. You know, we all have mothers. We all have fathers. And, you know, the hardest part about this, I feel, is not knowing. That's the hard part. And there is, you know, we've all said this. There is somebody out there, and maybe several people out there, that actually know where she is and know what happened and know all the details. And, you know, you need some type of closure in this type of scenario. And it's just gut wrenching. I've seen it before in kidnapping cases. And it's just a hard thing to deal with and watch.
Yeah, Tom, as a psychotherapist, you watched that. And what is your reaction? What would you say to her?
Yeah, I mean, I actually know her. I've been on with her many times on the Today Show. She's a sweet woman.
Yeah.
And what she's displaying is classic grief behavior. Even though we don't know if her mom is dead or not, you know, the guilt is part of this. I mean, you go through, you have anxiety, you have depression, you have fear, you have all these range of emotions. She's waking up in the middle of the night, and now what's setting in on her is guilt, and that's typically normal. So if I was sitting down, you know, having a conversation with her, I would say, listen, Savannah, you know, it's normal that you're going to feel guilty. Okay, anybody would be. But you can't blame yourself. You have to start taking that label of self-blame off yourself. That's part of the recovery process. But at the same time, it's normal. So that's what I would encourage her to do, is just, you know, understand it. We don't know, because you're famous, that's why this happened. It probably did, but you know, that's par for the course, and got to figure out how to move forward.
Yeah, Tom, to your point, I appeared on the Today Show a few times as well, and you, Savannah, a couple times, and such a sweet person, such a tragedy. So in this interview, she reveals the back door of her mother's home in Arizona was found propped open when family first got there and discovered that she was missing. Take a listen to this.
My sister called me, and I said, is everything okay? Mm-hmm. And she said, no. She said, Mom's missing. And I said, what? Yeah. What are you talking about? She said, she's gone. And she was in a panic. I was in a panic. I'm like, call 911. Yeah. She's like, I did. We've called them. They're here. And we thought that she must have had like some kind of medical episode in the night, and that somehow, you know, the paramedics had come because the back doors were propped open, you know, and that didn't make any sense.
So Savannah goes on to say that it obviously didn't make any sense, but also her phone and her purse were still there with all of her things. Jack, I mean, it's hard to imagine this scenario. If it was your own mother, what goes through your mind when you hear about this? But there are so many pieces of this case that just don't seem to add up.
Right.
No, there's a lot of things that don't add up in this case. Unfortunately, I have been involved in investigations involving something very similar, involving a young child, and it's very important, obviously, that we put the pieces together as quickly as possible. And law enforcement has been doing that. Law enforcement is giving a lot of attention to the matter. I know they're leaving no stone unturned. I know people personally out there working the matter. So it's not for lack of effort on law enforcement's part, I can assure you that. And as Tom mentioned, Savannah putting the blame on herself, you got to lose that label as quick as you can, because, is it probably true that, she's famous? Of course, that's a definite possibility, and maybe is the cause. But, she didn't do this. Other evil people did this. This is not her fault. This is nobody in the family's fault.
All right,
Jack,
it's Tom, it's great to have your insight on this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
As we head to break, a live look at the White House. President Trump will be set to hold a cabinet meeting at the top of the hour